will save you X amount of hours, which adds up to Y amount of money, and then we charge 10% of that money. Isn't that reasonable? Blah, blah. I sort of get that if something is like incredibly quantifiable in a very sort of binary way like that. But I think very, very few things adhere to that beautiful principle. So then after that, like, I mean, for my own stuff, and I'm not talking for like all of my other projects, I'm just giving you my own experience because it's just quite funny. I suppose people would say that this is a form of value-based pricing if you really want to argue the toss, but basically like the rationalistic argument over like, okay, if you do X, then it's going to give you Y dollar value, so it's reasonable for me to charge whatever, is completely impotent compared to the much more intuitive like sniff test of like, does this feel like the amount of money that I would like to spend on this thing? So what I was telling you before we got on the call is that when I launched this sort of video course about my sort of like strategy methodology, and I launched it at $700, and I sold one. In the first 2 days, I was like, well, this is just like a complete and utter disaster. So I had no shame. I was like, all right, everyone, price drop, $369, and I sold 250. So like, now I would argue that in terms of the value of the product, there's no meaningful difference between those two prices. But I think that in terms of just the way it hits people's pockets and their sort of emotional reaction to it, I think it's obviously extremely different. What you'll love, I think, my only experience to like pricing is the, what is it called? The Van Westendorp model. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. I do.
So I actually ran that for my product beforehand.